Hey y'all, David Madaffari here, St. George City Council candidate, District 4. We are 2 days away from the election, and I'm smiling because it's like it's starting to become real. It's an exciting time for St. George. It's an exciting time for, first-time candidates like me, and, kind of sitting here just wondering, want to know our fate. Everyone that's running for a seat has worked really hard in such a short period of time, and we're getting down to the end, and I certainly hope that the weather on Saturday does not dissuade you from getting out there to get your vote heard, get your voice heard for the future of St. George and the governance model that we are going to be voting on. And this video today is more about that. It's more about the Home Rule Charter, but from a different angle. So a lot of the discussion has been around candidates and citizens, having citizen engagement, which, if nothing else, I can say that I'm really excited to see how much engagement we have had on this issue, on this election. But I wanted to look at just what some people outside of St. George, those who are familiar with governance models in particular, and that would be the Louisiana Municipal Association. I actually was aware of this information, or that some of this information several months ago. This is way before I was even considering running. This was last summer when I was just kind of doing what I'm doing now, podcasts and volunteering with the transition district. And when this idea of city council managed form of government was being floated, there was some questions posed to the Louisiana Municipal Association, who are more or less a state group that assists cities, all 303 cities, by the way, in Louisiana, with resources that they can use and go for advising in governance of their cities. It helps them. It provides services. It provides training. So I figured I should revisit this topic because it was actually posted today by another candidate, and it kind of reminded me. And the questions here, or the statements here, are quite interesting. And the first thing I will say that the Louisiana Municipal Association has admitted to is that, because all the cities that they manage or they advise are traditional forms of government, they have no experience in working with a council-managed form of government. And I would argue that that's probably going this route without having any sort of experience that we could lean on within the state is probably not prudent to do, because we would basically be on our own. Of all the cities and all the wealth of knowledge that's been built through the Louisiana Municipal Association about the governance of cities within this state, the unique properties that make Louisiana what it is and governance in this state, that striking out on our own at this juncture where there's nobody in that organization that can be of assistance or in a very limited capacity, it's like there's no safety net. There's no one that you can really go to ask if there's issues that come up that are unique to what this HRC is proposing. And if they don't have the ability to advise or provide training, this, that, or the other, it doesn't seem like it would be wise to do that at this moment. And I keep saying that through my whole campaign. At this moment, I don't believe it would be wise to do that. The LMA also kind of hammers home the same thing that I and some other candidates have been talking about, is that the residents of Louisiana expect the mayor to be accountable for the governance and its performance and its success. And so having an unelected city manager that's not accountable directly to the voters is a mistake. And while there are technical issues and there may be some practical reasons why a city manager makes sense, it doesn't make sense here. Maybe a different type of city, maybe a smaller city. In this case, the HRC, and again, I know they're not the same. You can't couple the salaries and the HRC together because they're two separate issues. I think what people are seeing is that if the salaries are already what they are, let's keep the mayor accountable to the city and its citizens directly by managing the project manager from the private-public partnership directly. Have the mayor manage that person directly. Another interesting thing that was here that I see here is that, it says no member of the St. George Commission or City Council has ever contacted him regarding this proposal, and him being Richard Williams, the LMA Deputy Director. And when I saw this today, I do remember hearing about this last summer too, when I first was kind of privy to this information. Back then I wasn't really aware of it as much as I am now, because I'm a candidate now. So I thought that was also, it kind of made me scratch my head a bit. It's like, if we're trying to form a new city and you're trying to form this form of government, why wouldn't there ever be a communication with the LMA about this? And I'll be the first to say, if there has been and there's records of those communications, I certainly would, I could have my mind changed. But as of now, this guy's saying that he has never been contacted, and that would lead me to also question why we would go this far without any sort of safety net or any other people outside of the 11 members of the Charter Commission helping put this together in the as fast as it did, and to get on this particular election cycle as it were. That's all I have today. The post today kind of reminded me of this conversation, and I wanted to talk about it briefly. I think it's a form, or more or less, it's a topic that no one's really thinking about, is, well, what other sources are out there that would assist us in this endeavor if it was to pass with this council-managed form of government, and what resources would be available to us and who can help us. Because, as St. George, although we've created our own city, we still don't live in a bubble. And anybody that has the ability to assist the city in its growth, we should be willing to, A, seek them out, and B, hopefully they have experience in what we're trying to do if it passes. If it doesn't pass, then this whole conversation is moot. But at the end of the day, this is just another angle about the HRC that hasn't been talked about. And again, I'll just say I hope that the weather doesn't keep you from going out to vote. I'm asking you to vote for me. But we are excited about this election on Saturday, and I hope to see you guys out there. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.